Good morning, everybody. Hi. I hope this finds you well on Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. Can hear my dog walking around. So I hope that you can see in this new space I'm trying to create. I have a very small house. Oh, here she comes. And so my entire kitchen table is hi, Maggie. Currently moved so I can do this. Part of what I'm noticing is, I kind of noticed it before, but I'm definitely noticing it now. I don't really have room for yoga in my house. Maybe why I created the space. We'll see what she does. So welcome if you're just joining. I don't know if you'll be able to see my head, but we'll see what's going on. So welcome to Thursday, and oh, too bad you can't see her. She's right here. Oh, there she is. This is going to be a challenge. We'll see if that works. You're all patient. You'll play with me. So I wanted to start. I feel so far away from you. I wanted to start by using my own example of moving furniture in small spaces and YouTube and sound and all of that as an illustration of, well, if we could think about all of those challenges that we're having in our lives right now, and can we see them as weather? And so I'd like this practice to be about weathering the storm, whatever may arise for us, thoughts or situations, challenges that we have. Can we see it as weather and allow ourselves to move through the storm? I also noticed it was very rainy out there today, which I've been hearing from a lot of people professionally and personally that's been a challenge for them, because although they may feel like they can go outside, they're not going outside because of the weather. So how do we face the weather? How do we show up? And I would suggest that that is a choice that we have. I had thoughts of frustration and canceling and wondering how I was going to do that. And then really wanting to show up, at least for myself, and thanks for the people joining, for you as well. And ultimately to really show up for myself. And so I think this class is about that. Can we weather the storm and show up for ourselves and choose how we want to be in this time, in this world, and for ourselves and for each other. So when I was in yoga school, here, Diane's coming up again. Hi, Diane. Diane Kavanda, our yoga instructor, gave us little cards that she had made of mudras, and mudras are hand yoga gestures. And so in talking with the teen group last night that I do, a couple of things came up. One, that some people are feeling like their head's okay, their thoughts are okay. The storm up here seems kind of calm, but the storm in their body seems a little disrupted. And then other people said completely the opposite. They're doing okay here. They feel okay physically. They're behaving okay. But this is where the storm lies for them. And so I found two mudras, two of the hand gestures for yoga poses with the hands that could be helpful for people in that. So I wanted to share those. The first one is Gardua Mudra. And I'll just read about it. So Gardua Mudra creates a sense of freedom, like birds' wings in flight. This gesture improves circulation and balances left and right sides of the body. Use this mudra if you're feeling constricted. And you could use the statement or something like it. She has, I fly free like an eagle. So you could use a mantra with that as well. But I would suggest bringing your arms out wide. And then as you bring them in, linking the thumbs and resting them over your heart. And I'd start by just noticing how that feels. Just noticing how it feels on the body. Did you feel a sense of calm and ability to fly free? And it's interesting because I just did a mental health training in EMDR, which I won't get into now, but feel free to ask me more. And it was interesting. He was telling us this story about, so it's a trauma healing, and about this group that was doing EMDR with people in another country, and the children, so it's a bilateral stimulation of the brain, which is what this does, right? It balances the right and left side of the body. And so the children in this place, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting where it was right now, I believe it might have been Mexico, started tapping like this. And I found it brilliant because I knew that this was a mudra. And it's creating, they just naturally started creating the bilateral stimulation for themselves. So I offer this as something that you could try. If you're feeling that out of balance in the body, you could just start here. So the other one, Kalasvara Mudra, Diane, please feel free to reach out, help me with my Sanskrit. Kalasvara rules over time and calms an agitated mind. Kalasvara helps the mind to become clear and supports concentration and focus. This mudra is known for helping with self-observation and release of unconscious habitual patterns and addictive behavior. So the statement that could go with this is, my mind is calm, focused, and free of attachment, or something like that, whatever comes to mind for you. So for this one, you are bringing your thumbs together. A lot of people are used to doing this right now, right? So you just bring up those front fingers. So my mind is calm, focused, and free of attachment. So feel free to just try that for a moment. I'm just noticing any changes. And if you don't notice any changes, that is also perfect. I just offer those two mudras to play with. Here, maybe you even tap, or making the heart and sticking the fingers up, resting those inner knuckles together and holding it wherever you'd like. Just an offering. And as we move to our mats, reminding ourselves of weathering the storm And thanks for showing up today, weathering the storm in your own houses with me. So let's start in child's pose, if that's okay for your body. You could have a wide-legged child's pose with the big toes touching, slowly reaching out in front of you. And the forehead meets the mat. And allowing yourself here to slowly fall into the pose, gently. With each exhale, softening the body. Just taking note here where you're at. Where's the mind, the thoughts? Where's your body? Just allowing yourself to notice. Just to take note as a scientist would, noting. Feeling your breath in this pose. Breathing in deeply. And breathing out, softening the body towards the floor. Breathing in fully, feeling the rib cage in the back expand, maybe the belly lowering towards the mat, and exhale, belly button to spine, softening the body down. Can you notice the weather and the mind and the body? Can you notice the thoughts that may feel stirred up and swirling? Can you notice that parts of the body may feel frozen or very activated right now? And can you just take note of that like a scientist? Breathing in, breathing out. Taking note. Allowing the body to soften. And then gently lifting up, walking the hands back, bringing the knees together. And if this pose is not comfortable for the body, finding the seated position that does work for you, moving through this, allowing that to just be weather. Lifting up through the top of the head, feeling the spine long. Breathing in, feeling the lift in the body. And breathing out, settling the body, softening it towards the mat, softening the shoulders, the muscles that are activated. Breathing in, feeling the lift. Breathing out, softening down. Just noticing the weather around you. Maybe there are people or animals, sounds in your own house or mind. And can you just notice that as weather? And notice how you're going to meet that weather. Slowly walking your hands forward, curling the toes behind, and gently beginning to stretch the toes. And you could stay right here, or you could walk your hands up, moving them around, putting as much pressure as works for your body, and breathing here. Feeling that lift up on the inhale. The exhale may soften, maybe even soften the toes. I'm slowly walking the hands forward and patting the feet gently. Moving them around, doing what feels good. Coming back into child's pose with the knees closed, allowing your head to drop towards the mat and bringing your arms behind you, interlacing the fingers, and see if you can adjust so that your thumbs are on the base of your spine. And if they're not, if they're up on your spine here, that is also perfect. Just meet yourself where you're at in this moment, noticing how this feels. Can you move the shoulders away from the ears? And then very gently, and only doing this if it works for your body, begin lifting up onto your head, being mindful of your neck and lifting the arms up. Listening to the body, not doing this if it doesn't feel good. Gentle stretch in the neck, shoulders, arms. Can you adjust? Move those shoulders away from the ears. Can you breathe into the pose? Can you notice the weather? And then gently rolling back. Slowly and mindfully releasing the arms and stretching them forward. Lifted palms, fingertips on the mat, active arms. Breathing here. And then coming up to a tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, tops of the feet flat. Gaze down at the mat, remembering that your neck is part of your spine. And then very slowly, just moving the head and neck. Inhale, lifting the chin. Exhale, chin to chest. No spine movements right now other than the neck. Your inhale lifts. And your exhale, chin to chest. Just beginning to slowly wake up the neck. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, chin to chest. And then allowing yourself to maybe make some rolls. Do whatever feels good for your neck right now. Weathering the storm involves a choice, right? We have the choice to stay inside. And we have the choice to go out into the storm. And we get to make our own choices. So make your own choices here. Moving the neck, maybe looking over each shoulder. And just creating a movement that wakes it up. And then finding your gaze back at the mat, finding your arms strong, shoulders away from the ears, and making that a little bit larger movement, dropping the belly towards the mat, lifting the chin. Exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to chest. And see if you can find some play and movement here, moving in your own time, your own pace. Maybe you find that your hips move, your shoulders move, allowing choice here, playing with that. You try and rotate directions if you are swirling, just loosening up the spine, playing with this tabletop cat and cow. Notice what parts of your body want a little bit more attention. And can you really visualize that spine warming up, moving? And then maybe doing a couple more. Cat, cow. Noticing what feels good for you. Shaking it off. And then finding a neutral position. And see if you can make this an active tabletop pose. So really feeling the belly button moving towards the spine pushing towards the belly button. Engaged core. Arms are strong and lifting you up. Shoulders are away from the ears. Legs are strong. Can you feel that? Can you tighten all the muscles in the body right now? And can you release? And then tightening and releasing. Shifting your weight onto your left hand and gently reaching the right up as high as it would like to go. Moving that shoulder away from the ear and pushing the top of the hand towards the wall behind you. Inhaling here and exhaling, needling the arm through, gently resting. Breathing here, creating a gentle twist, warming up the spine. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, hand to mat. Shifting the weight to the right side. Inhaling, lifting the left. Strong arm, shoulder away from the ear, pushing the top of the hand towards the wall behind you. Feeling the twist, breathing into it. Inhaling and exhaling, needling through, gently resting on the mat. Breathing here. Your next inhale lifts you back up, reaching, and then hand to mat. And we'll do that one more time. So inhaling, right arm, feeling that shoulder away from the ear. Inhaling, exhaling, resting down. Breathing here. Your next inhale lifts the arm. And exhale down. Inhale, lifts the left. Breathing. Inhaling here, exhaling, twist. Allowing yourself to soften towards the mat. Next inhale lifts the arm. Exhale, hand to mat. Dropping back into child's pose for a minute, lifting the palms up, feeling the fingertips on the mat. See if you can drop the shoulders away from the ears and engage the arms strong. Breathing here. And then gently coming back, tabletop. Bringing the right leg behind you, nice and strong, engaging that core, pushing the belly button towards the spine. Can you feel the weight evenly balanced on all 3 points on the mat? Inhaling, lifting the leg. Exhaling, knee to nose. Inhaling, lifts. Exhaling, knee to nose. Inhale, lifts. Knee to nose. And 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Lifting up, back up, holding it strong, belly button to spine. Inhaling, lifting a little bit higher, bringing it over to the left, planting the toes. See if you can feel strong on the mat with those arms, and then looking over towards the toes. Breathe in here. If you'd like, you could shift your weight onto your right arm, lifting your left up. Breathe in here. And then dropping that left arm if it was raised, engaging the core, lifting the leg, bringing it back to center and back to tabletop. And then switching over to the right, weight to the right side, lifting the left leg behind. Feeling that strong core, 3 points on the mat. And then inhale, lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lifts. Knee to nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And 1 more. Inhale. Knee to nose. Inhale, hold the leg. Feel that core strong. Feel the arms strong. Inhale, lift slightly, bringing it over to the left side. Toes meet the mat. Feel those arms strong, shoulders away from the ears, and look over at the left toes. And again, if you would like, lifting the right arm. Breathing here. Lowering the right arm to the mat, feeling the core engaged, lifting the leg, and back to tabletop. Readjusting yourself here, pushing back into child's pose, lifting the palms, fingertips on the mat, and taking a few breaths here. Allowing the palms to meet the mat, lifting up, curling the toes underneath. Feeling those toes stretching again. Bringing the hands a little bit further, stretching even further. And then feeling strong, lifting the hips up, coming into downward facing dog. Hips are high, neck is long and loose. And feel free to choose and create movement here. Maybe get a little wild. Notice what feels good. Notice what parts would like a little bit more attention. Breathe in here. Allowing yourself movement. And tension of the heels moving towards the mat, but they never have to meet. Lifting the heels, maybe raise on your toes, drop the head, slowly lowering the feet. Finding stillness, bending the knees, looking forward at the hands, and walking towards the top of your mat, hanging in forward fold. Allowing the head to be heavy, neck long and loose. Feeling the feet on the mat, feeling that connection. Can you feel strong in that connection? Maybe lift your toes, lower them down. Can you really feel the mat on the floor under your feet? And then bending your knees at least a little and slowly rolling up. Vertebrae by vertebrae. When you reach the top, inhaling, rolling the shoulders up and back. Engaging in your own mountain, feeling the feet on the floor, tightening through the legs, engaging the core, curling the tailbone down, shoulders towards the floor, head raised, arms engaged. Can you feel your shoulder blades? And breathing here. Feeling the strength in this mountain pose. Those of you who do my classes think know I love mountain. Imagine how a mountain weathers the storm. Can you feel the mountain presence in your body? And can you just allow the storm to move past, knowing that it will? It always does. Inhaling, lifting the arms. Maybe the fingertips touch. Maybe there's a gentle back bend. Exhaling, arms come to a T. And as slowly as you can, hinging at the hips and swan diving forward. Allow it to be slow, feeling everything that's going on in the body right now. And if there are thoughts attached to those sensations in the bodies, can you just see that as weather and allow them to move past? Ending up in a forward fold again. Feeling the stretch through the backs of the legs, breathing into that stretch. Feeling the feet strong on the mat. Inhaling, hands come to the shins, halfway lift. Nice straight spine, gaze down. Can you feel your spine here from the top of the head to the base? You feel the length there. And exhaling, slowly lowering down. And allowing a little creative movement for yourself here. Allow yourself to choose. Would you like to play with the forward fold in any way that works? Bending the knees, holding on to the legs. Would you like to alternate inhaling to this flat back, exhaling back down to a forward fold? See what you can create for yourself here. As you listen to the body, listening to what it is calling for right now. And allowing yourself to play and to choose. And if these two poses aren't working for you right now, could you allow yourself enough freedom and choice to choose a different one? Focusing on allowing the backs of the legs to loosen. Feeling a long spine. Noticing that the legs may be feeling differently right now than when we started this forward fold and flat back. And can you notice that change? Maybe it feels more intense. Can you see that as a weather pattern? And stay curious about how it may change as you take note of it. And then bending the knees a lot, feeling the feet strong on the floor, allowing your chest to rest on your upper thighs. And as you inhale, lifting the arms up in front of you, coming into chair. So looking down, still being able to see the toes, dropping the shoulders away from the ear, engaging the core, pushing the belly button towards the spine. Breathing here. And can you allow yourself choice here? So maybe you stay here. Maybe this feels really good and you like the challenge. Maybe you lift up and then drop back down into it. Maybe you pulse. What can you choose? How can you weather the storm of chair right now? How can you play with it? How can you be curious? Maybe your palms come together. Maybe you twist to one side. Can you allow that? Can you breathe through the storm? Maybe the inhale lifts. Maybe come back down into chair, and if you twist it to one side, maybe you twist to the other. Feeling your feet strong on the ground. Breathing. Inhaling lifts us all back up, rolling the shoulders back, feeling the shoulder blades, engaging the mountain. Strong body, feel the muscles tightening around the bones and the legs, tailbone curled, chest lifted. Shoulders pressing together, arms engaged. Can you allow yourself to play in this pose? Inhaling lifts. Exhaling, arms float to the side. Can you allow floating? Allowing yourself to stand softly. Inhaling, lifting the arms, reaching as high as you possibly can. And then exhaling, allowing the arms to float again. You just let them be soft and float. As I'm doing this, I hear the wind outside. I'm getting a sensation of flying. We feel our arms moving through the weather in that way, flying on the wild wind. And then bringing the hands to the hips, shifting the weight onto the left foot, feeling that left foot strong on the mat, and slowly lifting the right. Finding a point to focus on that isn't moving. Beginning to play with balance on the right and left side. Allowing that to be the weather. And then very slowly and mindfully bringing that foot back, setting up for a warrior one. So looking over the left knee, can you still see the toes? Back foot is slightly angled and doing whatever works for your body here. Back leg is bent slightly to protect the knee. Shifting the hips forward and lifting the arms strong. Warrior one. Engaging the core, belly button towards spine. Lifting up through the top of the head. Shoulder blades are down. Can you tighten all the muscles in your body here? Breathing here. And then opening up, warrior two. Shoulder blades away from the ears, reaching as if somebody is pulling from either wrist. Dropping the right arm down the back leg, flipping the left palm, reaching up and back, feeling the stretch on the left side. Breathing here. Breathing in, breathing out. Allowing the stretch, reaching through the fingertips. And then on your next inhale, coming back up, warrior two. Bending the front arm, reaching the right arm up and over. And here, feeling your core engaged, not fully resting on that arm. Can you play with that? And maybe you straighten. Allowing the head and neck to be wherever you would like. Breathe in here. Feeling the stretch on the right side, reaching through the fingertips. Next inhale lifts you back up, warrior two. Straightening that front leg, reaching as far as you can forward before windmilling the arms and allowing yourself to hold the leg wherever it's comfortable or not. Reaching the right fingertips high, shoulder away from the ear. Breathe in here. Lifting back up, bending that front knee, warrior two. Hands come to the hips, coming forward on the mat, toes slightly out, reaching up, 5-pointed star. Shoulders drop away from the ears. Breathe in here. And then bending the knees, bending the elbows, coming back down. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, bends. Maybe you play with this. Maybe you drop it down even further. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, bends. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, bends. Holding it here. Maybe you pulse. Maybe you go lower. Keeping those arms strong. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, lifts. And then hands come to the hips and shifting, right leg ends up forward, repositioning the left leg. Bending that front knee, noticing the toes, shifting the hips forward and inhaling, lifting the arms, warrior one. Curling the tailbone under, engaging the core. Breathing here. Noticing your own weather. I am noticing my weather. Notice yours. Be brave enough to notice without judgment taking note of where we're at, and then opening, arms wide, warrior two. Dropping the shoulders, reaching through the fingertips. Strong pose. Core engaged, belly button towards spine, curling the tailbone under. Dropping the left hand down, flipping the right palm, reaching up and back. Breathing here. Noticing the weather. Next inhale lifts you back up. Warrior two. Breathing here. Right arm bends, left arm lifts up and over. Again, paying attention to the core here. Doing what works for you, reaching through the left fingertips. Breathing into the stretch. Noticing the weather. Breathing in. Breathing out. Next inhale lifts you back up. Warrior two. Straightening that front leg. Reaching as far forward as you can before windmilling the arms. Again, allowing yourself support on the leg wherever you would like. Dropping that left shoulder back. Breathe in here. Next inhale lifts you back up. Bends that knee. Warrior two. Straightening the knee, coming back. Long on the mat. Toes out. Arms raised. Star. Is your tailbone curled? Could you curl it? Could you lift up through the top of your head? Inhaling here. Exhaling. Bends. Inhaling left. Exhaling bends. Inhaling left. Exhaling bends. And again. And allowing yourself to play here. Whatever you like. Maybe you twist. Maybe go lower. Maybe you bounce a little bit. Can you play? Can you listen to your body? Maybe it wants another stretch. And then allowing the hands to come to the hips and stepping to the middle. Feeling the feet on the floor, maybe lifting the toes up, planting them down, rolling the shoulders up and back, engaging in mountain. Feel the tailbone and the core. Notice mountain. Can you embrace that mountain feeling in your body? Noticing the weather. Right now I'm noticing my breath in this practice this morning as part of my own weather. Not feeling my breath as I normally do. The tendency would be to judge. I use that as an example. Can I just notice? I just see that as weather passing by my mountain in this moment. Allowing yourself to notice the weather occurring in the mountain, thoughts or body. And can you too gently allow it to just pass? Take note of it. Different breathing. Not attached to the thought or the feeling. But just taking note, allowing some space in between to just notice. And if this doesn't feel like yoga to you, notice that. Allow that to be the thought creating weather. And then the question is, what do we do next? If we're able to just take note of that thought or weather pattern, what next? And I offer the suggestion of coming back to the body rather than the thought. I would suggest that the thoughts are what actually create the weather. So could we go back to a sensation in the body that feels good? Maybe the feet on the floor. In this mountain pose, seeing our feet as the base of the mountain, strong, unwavering. Can we notice that? Inhaling, lifting the arms, fingertips may touch, slight back bend. Exhaling, arms float. And they float slowly. Can you feel the feet on the ground? Does that help you to just take note of weather and to come back to this present moment, feeling grounded? Noticing that it takes continual practice to do that. And can we do that? And then stepping forward on the mat, engaging in your own mountain pose here, rolling the shoulders up and back, mountain. Again, mountain, over and over. Should have named it mountain class. Feel the strength in this pose, and then gently lowering yourself down, however works for your body today, which may be different than yesterday because of the weather. And then here, can you allow a massage of your spine? So you could roll the entire length of the spine. Having fun with that. You could stay on your back and slowly massage the spine in any way that works for you. Can you just play with feeling that whole spine making contact with the mat in some way? And then can you find your knees and your chest? And just holding them close for a moment. Breathing here. Allowing your arms to float out to the sides. Feeling your core strong, inhaling here and exhaling, slowly lowering to the right. Creating a gentle twist in the spine. Legs can fall wherever they go. And intention of keeping the shoulder blades on the mat. Breathing into the twist. And maybe on an exhale, looking over your left fingertips. Breathe in here. On your next inhale, bringing the knees back to center. Taking a breath here. And on your next inhale, and then exhale, slowly lowering to the left. Allowing the legs to rest wherever they fall. Shoulder blades moving towards the ground. Inhaling, exhaling, maybe looking over your right fingertips. Your next inhale, bringing the knees back to center. Giving yourself one more hug here. Allowing yourself to notice the weather. Gently relaxing down and finding your final pose. Whatever that may be for you today. Snuggling into whatever that pose is. And I have chosen to read a meditation today to you. It's a mountain meditation. So allowing yourself to find a pose of comfort using any props, pillows, blankets, anything that you have at home that you would like to use. Nestling in. And when you're ready, allowing your eyes to close. Bringing awareness to breath, the actual physical sensations. Feeling each breath as it comes in and goes out. Letting the breath be just as it is, without trying to change or regulate it in any way. Allowing it to flow easily and naturally, with its own rhythm and pace. Knowing you are breathing perfectly well right now, nothing for you to do. Allowing the body to be still with a sense of dignity, a sense of resolve, a sense of being complete, whole in this very moment. With your posture reflecting this sense of wholeness. And as you lay here, letting an image form in your mind's eye of the most magnificent or beautiful mountain you know or have seen or can imagine. Letting it gradually come to greater focus. And even if it doesn't come to a visual image, allowing the sense of this mountain and feeling its overall shape, its lofty peak or peaks high in the sky, the large base rooted in the bedrock of the Earth's crust, its steep or gently sloping sides. Noticing how massive it is, how solid, how unmoving, how beautiful, whether from afar or up close. Perhaps your mountain has snow blanketing its top and trees reaching down to the base, or rugged granite sides. There may be streams and waterfalls cascading down the slopes. There may be one peak or a series of peaks, or with meadows and high lakes. Observing it, noting its qualities, and when you feel ready, seeing if you can bring the mountain into your own body, laying here so that your body and the mountain and your mind's eye become one. So that as you lay here, you share in the massiveness and the stillness and the majesty of the mountain. You become the mountain. Grounded in this laying posture, your head becomes the lofty peak, supported by the rest of the body and affording a panoramic view. Your shoulders and arms, the sides of the mountain. Your buttocks and legs, the solid base, rooted to your cushion or your mat, experiencing in your body a sense of uplift from deep within the pelvis and spine. With each breath, as you continue, becoming a little more a breathing mountain, alive and vital, yet unwavering in your inner stillness, completely what you are, beyond words and thought, a centered, grounded, unmoving presence. As you sit here, becoming aware of the fact that as the sun travels across the sky, the light and shadows and colors are changing virtually moment by moment in the mountain's stillness. And the surface teems with life and activity. Streams, melting snow, waterfalls, plants, and wildlife. As the mountain sits, seeing and feeling how night follows day and day follows night, the bright warming sun followed by the cool night sky, studded with stars, and the gradual dawning of a new day. Through all of it, the mountain just sits, experiencing change in each moment, constantly changing, yet always just being itself. It remains still as the seasons flow into one another, and as the weather changes moment by moment and day by day, calmness abiding all change. In summer, there is no snow on the mountain, except perhaps for the very peaks or on the crags shielded from direct sunlight. In the fall, the mountain may wear a coat of brilliant fire colors. In winter, a blanket of snow and ice. In any season, it may find itself at times enshrouded in clouds or fog or pelted by freezing rain. People may come to see the mountain and comment on how beautiful it is, or how it's not a good day to see the mountain, that it's too cloudy or rainy or foggy or dark. None of this matters to the mountain, which remains at all times its essential self. Clouds may come and clouds may go. Tourists may like it or not. The mountain's magnificence and beauty are not changed one bit by whether people see it or not. Seen or unseen, in sun or in clouds, broiling or frigid, day or night, it just sits, being itself. At times visited by violent storms, buffeted by snow and rain and winds of unthinkable magnitude. Through it all, the mountain sits. Spring comes, trees leaf out, flowers bloom in the high meadows and slopes, birds sing in the trees once again. Streams overflow with the waters of melting snow. Through it all, the mountain continues to sit, unmoved by the weather, by what happens on its surface, by the world of appearances, remaining its essential self through the seasons, the changing weather, the activity ebbing and flowing on its surface. In the same way, as we sit in meditation or lay in Shavasana, we can learn to experience the mountain. We can embody the same central, unwavering stillness and groundedness in the face of everything that changes in our own lives over seconds, over hours, over years. In our lives and in our meditation and yoga practice, we experience constantly the changing nature of mind and body and of the outer world. We have our own periods of light and darkness, activity and inactivity, our moments of color and our moments of drabness. It's true that we experience storms of varying intensity and violence in the outer world and in our own minds and bodies, buffeted by high winds, by cold rain. We endure periods of darkness and pain, as well as the moments of joy and uplift. Even our appearance changes constantly, experiencing a weather of its own. By becoming the mountain, we can link up with its strength and stability and adopt them for our own. We can use its energies to support our energy, to encounter each moment with mindfulness and equanimity and clarity. It may help us to see that our thoughts and feelings, our preoccupations, our emotional storms and crises, even the things that happen to us, are very much like the weather on the mountain. We tend to take it all personally, but its strongest characteristic is impersonal. The weather of our own lives is not to be ignored or denied. It is to be encountered, honored, felt, known for what it is, and held in awareness. And in holding it in this way, we come to know a deeper silence and stillness and wisdom. Mountains have this to teach us, and much more if we can let it in. So if you find you resonate in some way with the strength and stability of the mountain and you're sitting, it may be helpful to use it from time to time in your practice to remind you of what it means to sit mindfully with resolve and with wakefulness and true stillness. Mountain. And gently beginning to create small movements in the body. Slowly waking and stretching. Feeling the breath. And slowly and mindfully, in your own way, coming up to a seated position that works for you in this moment. Noticing how you feel, allowing the eyes to stay soft or closed. And seeing if you can feel that mountain in the body, as you said. Bringing that mountain into your body. And then inhaling, lifting the arms up. Exhaling, allowing the arms to float down. Doing that one more time. Inhaling, lifting up. Taking anything that was helpful. Exhaling, floating down, letting go of anything you need to. And gently opening the eyes if they were closed. Coming back to this space, your space. And I will end with the mudra we started with. Thank you all for being here, for sharing your practice and my practice, sharing together. And I will say, if you'd like to find that meditation and a lot of other things, you can find it at PalousMindfulness.com. Palouse is Palouse, Palouse. It's a wonderful resource with a lot to offer. I thank you all. Enjoy the day, and I'll see you soon.